السلام عليكم ورحمة الله وبركاته. أسعد الله أوقاتكم بخير جميعا الأحبة والأصدقاء وطن المهاجرة في كل مكان. أحييكم من هنا من من بروكلين، منطقة بروكلين، ولاية نيويورك، العاصمة التجارية والاقتصادية للولايات المتحدة الأمريكية. طبعا نحن هنا اليوم المؤسسة الإعلامية في حفل تنصيب أحد أعضاء الحزب الجمهوري في مجلس شيوخ الولاية في الدائرة 46 في مدينة نيويورك. طبعا دقائق حتى يبدأ الحفل التنصيب. طبعا هذا الأشخاص من أحد الأشخاص الذي نحن دعمناهم قبل الانتخابات. منتظرين طبعا على أساس طبعا هذا هو المرشح. نحن نقول أي شخص أقرب إلى أي حزب أو أي شخص بالنسبة يعني ما فيه مصلحة الجالية العربية والإسلامية في الولايات المتحدة، احنا على طول يعني احنا معاهم. واي شخص اقربنا عادة تقريبا نعرف ان الايام القليلة الذي مضت الحزب الديمقراطي اشياء كثيرة جدا للاسف ما كانش الجالية اليمنية والعربية والاسلامية مرتاحين لها، وخاصة في موضوع المثلية وغيرها. لذلك احنا ندعم التغيير، ندعم الجديد، وإن شاء الله إنه إحنا بنحاول. طبعا إحنا لا ننظر يعني إلى بعض الأوضاع الذي يدقوا على الوتر الحساس، بمعنى إنه الديمقراطيين دقوا على وتر إنه ترامب عنصري. كذلك لا نريد الجمهوري يدقوا على أساس إنه المثلية. من أجل ماذا؟ من أجل أن يستغلوا أصوات الجالية العربية والإسلامية. ولكن هنا موجودين أعضاء الحزب الجمهوري كامل، من ضمنهم السناتور مارتن. وطبعا كما تشوفوا، لو تشوفوا الخلف أعمل لكم نعمل لفات. هذه هي القاعة. طبعا لم يحضروا حتى الآن، ولكن احنا ننتظر بضع دقائق حتى يتم حضور الجميع. مرحبا، اهلا وسهلا. الله يعافيك.
جون ابي حبيب،
اهلا وسهلا.
قنصل لبنان.
اهلا وسهلا. قنصل لبنان، ضروري ان اتواصل معك اذا. هذه المنصوري من المؤسسه العربيه اليمنيه في امريكا.
اوكي، اهلا وسهلا فيك. وانا كمان صاحبي كثير مع الشباب.
عندك
جيت سبورت.
احاول
معك تليفون؟
ايوه عندي تليفون. عايز تحب تعطي كلمة بسريع؟
السريع؟
طبعا
عربي ام انجليزي؟
بانجليزي عادي، مش مشكلة. القنصلة اللبنانية هنا في مدينة نيويورك. اهلا وسهلا بك. المؤسسة العربية اليمنية الأمريكية. You want some mention to everyone?
Congratulations first to our dear friend Assemblyman Alik Brook-Rosny on this beautiful inauguration, and then we welcome him in the assembly. We're friends for a long time. He was a great assemblyman before, and still is one of the best friends that I have. ألف مبروك مشان الجالية اليمنية
والعربية والإسلامية كذلك.
أهلا فيكم، وخصوصا بأنه حضوركم اليوم، وهذه كثير مهمة مشان تفرجي العالم إنه الجالية كيف عم
في وعي. نعم،
في وعي وفي انفتاح على الشعب كمان.
نعم،
مبروك.
الله يبارك فيك.
خليك بالجهد
ان شاء الله. انا احاول ان شاء الله بعمل معك لقاء مباشر للمؤسسة ان شاء الله اذا قبلت. اهلا وسهلا، شكرا جزيلا لك. القنصل اللبناني طبعا في مدينة نيويورك حضر اليوم حفل تنصيب احد اعضاء الحزب الجمهوري للمجلس شيوخ الولاية في الدستك 64 في مدينة منطقة بروكلين مدينة نيويورك. احنا بنحاول، انا احاول اترجم لكم. انتم تسمعوا الصوت واضح ولا مش واضح؟ اهلا وسهلا، حيا بليبيا واهل ليبيا، حيا بالعرب كلهم. حيا قوة. انا نعمل لكم لفة. شوف هذه القاعة ما شاء الله. اهلا. هذا القاعة شوفوا، القاعة مليئة طبعا. ولكن لم يبدأ الحفل بعد. سيبدأ الحفل إن شاء الله بإذن الله. سيبدأ الحفل إن شاء الله بعد بضع دقائق من الآن، حوالي المفروض الساعة 3. ولكن احنا منتظر وجود طبعا وجود الناس هنا. طبعا هؤلاء مرشحون أو مشجعون الحزب الجمهوري في الولايات المتحدة الأمريكية. هذا اليوم تنصيبه تنصيبه اليوم. طبعا هو أحد الأشخاص الذي دعمنا، وأتمنى أنه يكون خير وصلاح لصالح الجالية العربية والإسلامية في الولايات المتحدة الأمريكية. احنا كل همنا الآن الوضع بغض النظر عن الهجرة.
Chip, can we sit with you? Can I?
I'll sit on the
30 seconds away from starting, everyone. Again, thank you. Please find a comfortable seat.
Good afternoon. حفل تنصيب
Thank you, appreciate it. Everyone, good afternoon. Thank you for being here on this amazing afternoon where we have
طبعا
the
بنزل لهم مع
opportunity
الترجمة
to swear
بعد
our assemblyman in the 46th Assembly District, Alex Brooke, President. I also for someone I have the honor and pleasure of working with every day, our Chief of Staff, Lucretia Regina Thomas. publicly let you know what you mean to us. First and foremost, the family of Assemblyman Alec Brooke Krasny, his amazing wife, Aviva, and their families, Dina, Rebecca, and Jonathan. Thank you for the sacrifice that you have made, that you have let Alec represent us, work with us, and protect our community. Thank you, Aviva, and thank you, family. We also want to give our greatest thanks and appreciation to the following elected officials, many of which are with us today, some of which could not be here, some of which are on the way. Congresswoman Nicole Maliotakis, Congressman Hakeem Jeffries, Senator Marty Golde, Senator Jessica Scarcella Spanton, Assemblyman Michael Novikov could not be with us today, but he is represented by his Chief of Staff, Greg Kershaw. Assemblyman Michael Tanusis. Assemblyman Sam Pirozzolo. Assemblyman and 24-year naval veteran, Lester Chang. Councilwoman Ina Bernikoff. Councilman Ari Kagan. Now we come to the chairs of our parties. Jerry Kassar, Chairman, New York State Conservative Party. Ted Gora, Chairman, Brooklyn Republican Party. Fran Bellaron, Chair of the Kings County Conservative Party. David Ryan, Vice Chair, Kings County Conservative Party. Chung Dick, Executive Committee Member, Kings County Conservative Party. Nancy Roden, Executive Secretary, Kings County Conservative Party. Ross Brady, Treasurer, Kings County Conservative Party. Peter Junta, Chairman, New York State Young Republicans. Scott Mims, President, Brooklyn Young Republicans. Simon Shamoun, President of the Board of Commissioners, New York City Board of Elections. Georgia Quintzamanis, Operations Manager, New York City Board of Elections. Ray Riley, Chief Clerk, New York City Board of Elections. My apologies, I missed two people, it's my fault. Commissioner Edward Mermelstein, Commissioner of International Affairs for the City of New York. Councilman Vincent Gentile. We would like to thank all the members of the following community boards, 10, 11, and 13. Thank you for the work you do every day. Also with us, Council Congressman Dominic Recchia Jr. No community is complete without its leaders, and we are fortunate to have today many community leaders. Dr. Habib Judah, President of the Arab American Association of New York. James Ramawi, President of the Arab American Federation. John Abahabib, Council of Lebanon in the United States. Senator David Sterobin. Thank you, Senator. Dozier Hasty, publisher of Eagle Publications. Mark Fisher, executive, Brooklyn Eagle Publications. Arthur Kagita, photographer, Brooklyn Eagle Publications. Vice President of Citizens Bank, Ross Elrich. We also want to acknowledge the amazing members of our law enforcement community, and that includes the following: the 6th Precinct Commanding Officer and his Community Affairs Team, Inspector Tolson. The 6th Precinct Commanding Officer, Inspector King, and his amazing Community Affairs team. The Commanding Officer of the 6th Precinct, Captain Lau, and his Community Affairs team. The members of the Seagate Police Department, represented by Lieutenant Manetta, and once again, his Community Affairs team. At this time, with all district leaders, please rise so that we can tell you how much we appreciate you and what you do for our community every day. All district leaders, please rise.
First, I would like to ask former district leader Mark Davidovich, the first Russian-speaking elected official in the United States.
At this time, on behalf of Assemblyman Brooke Bradley and our Chief of Staff, Regina Potter, I would ask, please, that Rabbi Brickman, where are you, Rabbi Brickman, would you kindly join us and please give us some inspirational insight. Ladies and gentlemen, Rabbi Brickman of Knesset Israel.
Good afternoon. I'll tell you the story. We're in high school. High school history teacher gathers the class together and asks the question. Okay, class, date and quote. Who said it and when? Ask not what your country can do for you, but rather what you can do for your country. Sadly, however, the class is quiet. Nobody responds. An auditorium like this, everyone is silent. Everyone is silent. One kid sitting there in the back, like the Lester is, all the way there, raises his hand. He's an exchange student from Tokyo. Raises his hand. John Fitzgerald Kennedy, January 22nd, 1961, at his inaugurational speech. And the teacher is dumbfounded. Can you imagine a full class of American high schoolers, not one can tell me where this quote came from? Teacher's utterly upset, and goes on for the next 20 minutes of the period, extolling the virtue of this Japanese exchange student, how great the Japanese educational system is, and how neglectful the American students have been. And they should ignore their toys and continue to study American history. After about 20 minutes, the teacher's going on and on. One student, as they say in English, classes. And he gives a scream out, "To hell with the Japanese!" The teacher never heard such a question in his life. I'm teaching so many years. Who was so brazen to say that? And shouts, "Who said that?" And the student in the back row says, "Harry Truman, 1945. We just acknowledged our public servants, and we are here to install another public servant to have a swearing-in ceremony. Just yesterday in the synagogue, we said an interesting prayer that many don't pay attention to because it has such a deep meaning. We give a prayer, all those who serve the community with honesty and with dignity, may Almighty God repay them. And there is an old saying that the reason why we say Almighty God repay them because no one else will. No one else will really acknowledge what they do. So the only one who will really acknowledge what they do and give them their reward is Almighty God. So we make a prayer that Almighty God shall repay them, shall repay all of you who were acknowledged here just before. Repay you in kind for your service to the community, for your service to the people of the state of New York, of the city of New York, and so on, and to the United States of America. This year, on the Jewish calendar, is called the Year of Hakel, which means the Year of Assembly. It's an assembly, it's a year to gather together to inspire each other, because when we sit together and we inspire each other, it reminds me of the prayer which we begin with our daily prayers from that was instituted by the great 15th century Kabbalist, the Rabbi Yitzchak Isaac Luria, who said, "Hareini mekabel alai mitzvat aseh shel yoav noreach ha'kavod," that I hereby accept by myself the commandment to love your fellow man as yourself. And when people give up themselves to public service, when people give up themselves to help others, this is truly an inspiration. I would like to leave you with the thought that may all of you, beginning with our newly elected assemblymen, have the spirit and the guidance by Almighty God to be able to fulfill this literally with the hand of God guiding you in the right path, that you should be able to help us, the state of New York, the city of New York, and the citizens of the United States. May God be with you, may God bless you.
That was Rabbi Rickman. Thank you, Rabbi. At this time, I'd like to ask, is the special advisor to Mayor Eric Adams with us, Ingrid Lewis-Martin? Ingrid, are you here yet? I would ask at this time, please, a great friend to our community, a very, very world-renowned attorney, I would kindly ask that James McGovern please come up and say a few words.
Dr. King once said that the true measure of a man is not how he behaves.
I can't hear you. I want to hear you.
Can you hear me?
Now I can.
Okay.
I really want to hear you.
It's been a while since I had to project. I haven't been in my car in a while. The true measure of a man is not how he behaves of government, I had the pleasure of serving as Alan Bradley's defense lawyer when he faced one of those controversies and challenges when he was wrongfully charged with crimes by the Manhattan District Attorney's Office. And I can't tell you how thrilled I am to be standing here today with my family, witnessing what we were about to witness, the swearing in of a new assembly member. This is the true American redemption story. And never in my wildest dreams did I think that things would end up this way. And that's why I'm so immensely happy for Alec and Aviva and Dina and Rebecca and Jonathan, who I came to know very closely during that nightmare that was 2017 to 2020. You know, in our lighter moments during that case, Alec and I used to joke around about what would we do if we actually won? If we actually got that case fixed, how would you ever reclaim your life? And he would bandy around the idea that maybe I could run again. And we always said, like, hell, if you could run again, that would be everything. That would be the full reclaiming of your life. But to run again and to win as a came to my office. He was very scared and very worried. And he couldn't understand how this criminal justice system that he had supported and fought for and protected and tried to improve for so many years as a politician had done this to him. And that they had gotten it so wrong and had charged him with something that he had never committed. For my part, I was rather confident. I looked at the evidence and I was like, look, I don't see a case. I figured, a fair amount of work on the front end, had a couple of phone calls and a couple of meetings, we could sort all of this out. I was wrong, and it took us quite some time to sort all of this out. But it's during that period of time that a funny shift occurred. The shift occurred from me becoming less confident and more worried about an outcome, and perhaps a little despondent, to Alex becoming more and more sure of what was going to happen. It was an amazing thing to watch this man as he became more and more positive, buttressed by the support of his family and of his religion and of his understanding that doing the right thing had never failed him in the past.
Now we thank you for your service.
And so, he was right again. And now he is back where he belongs. And continuing to follow his North Star, which is always to do the right thing. A great boxer, they say, is not made by his ability to throw the big punch, but by the ability to take it. And that is the truth of a great person. And Alec is certainly that. And as a proud son of Brooklyn myself, I can tell you how proud I am of him and how pleased I am to know that he will be fighting on our behalf in the New York State Assembly.
Thank you very much, Just want to point out, although I said it earlier, it must be said often, that we have with us today a couple of members of our New York City Council, and I want to acknowledge them and once again thank them. Ina Vernikov, my pleasure, my privilege, and my honor, on behalf of Assemblyman Marty and our Chief of Staff, to ask the Chairman of the Kings County Republican Party, Ted Golde, to kindly take the stage.
We know what kind of great shape you're in, Chairman. Just come on. Yeah. No, Chairman, right here. Chairman, thank you.
I was just making sure he was paying attention. All right, so I did not prepare remarks because I'd rather speak from the heart. It's been an unbelievable journey to watch this man go from someone who was scorned back to triumph and back where he belongs. Listen, he's a friend. We've become truly friends. I may be the Republican Party chairman, but I stand here as a friend. Watching Alec go out with a passion, with conviction, with a fierce will to win was something else. And it really brings me great pleasure, not because of the politics side of it, but because of the personal side. He's a good man. He's been vindicated. He serves his constituents. He serves his family. He serves his friends with honor. And that's the biggest thing. There's too much of this nonsense about politics and enemies and ripping people apart. Not how it should be. I take great pleasure in knowing that we have people in office, once again, who really care about what they do, care about their communities. Democrat, Republican, Independents, if you're a good you're a good person. If you have the right intentions, you have the right intentions. And all I will say is this man had the right intentions, always does. He's been a friend, will be a friend, and I really am just thrilled for him being here and standing up and for his family. Really an honor. Thank you.
Thank you so much, Chairman Golde. At this time, I would please ask that the chair of the Kings County Conservative Party, Fran Bellamarone, please join us on stage. Thank you, Fran. Chair Bellamarone. Thank you, Kings County Conservative Chair. To everyone here, the next individual that I will ask to speak is an amazing, amazing pleasure for me. On a personal note, and I know that I speak also on behalf of the Assemblyman and our entire team. If I may just share a very brief story with you. It was a very long time ago that a young Richie Barsignan, that's me for those of you who don't know, walked into the office of a great man, a great leader, a statesman, and an individual who spent 16 years in the New York State Senate, every single one of them trying to do what was right, what was necessary, and providing our community with unparalleled accessibility. Because Senator Martin Golde was literally everywhere, all of the time. So I would like to help. I would like to volunteer. And he said, sit down, we'll figure it out. So it is a tremendous pleasure for me now to introduce to you our senator of 16 years, my dear friend, my mentor, Senator Marty.
When you look at the bail law that they did, all these people are being released within hours and back on the street with the same crime. And discovering, they threw that out. That means if you get robbed in the street, the lawyer gives the information to the person that robbed you. He finds out where you live, where you are in the community. Could you imagine giving that to somebody that just robbed you in the street less than a week before, or a couple of days, or a couple of hours before? Ladies and gentlemen, we need to change those laws. And we need somebody like that to practice we need our homes, our communities, our families to try. And the only way we can do that is by having common sense. And I don't care if it's all Republicans elected or all Democrats. Guess what? It doesn't work. It doesn't work to do checks and balances. And what we need, and what we just got in the Congress of the United States, is a Republican Congress in the U.S. Senate. There's checks and balances. We need checks and balances back in the Assembly and the Senate in the state of New York, so we can bring sanity back and give our kids and our families and our communities a reason to want to stay here, to grow, and to be somebody. And Alec is the guy that's going to get that done. The wall, the seawall in Bay Ridge, along that seawall was starting to cave in. Bill Parker would have caved in, but one for him coming and trying to be on the Assembly side and the Senate side, and we got that wall redone. If it weren't for the poker shops and the water pipes and all the junk they were selling to our less than 18, 16, 15-year-old kids, Alex in the Assembly, and at that time, Nicole Maliotakis as well, and myself, and we passed the bill, and we stopped that from happening, and they couldn't sell that crap to our children and to our communities, and we stopped it. What else do we do? He was so involved in the different things. Now, how many people work in Staten Island or go to school in Staten Island? Have to go over that bridge. Well, again, you go that bridge 1-3 times, we went after it. So you get a discount. And the same discount you get in Staten Island. And if you worked over there as well, we worked to make sure that that could happen here in our city, in our state. Ladies and gentlemen, we have a great man here. We have a great leader and a great team. We got to keep it going, ladies and gentlemen. We got city council races coming up. We have presidential race after that next year. Ladies and gentlemen, we want to fill these auditoriums. We want to make sure that this place is jammed and that we got the right people out there doing the right thing, supporting Alec with transit. Give them a round of applause, ladies and gentlemen.
Before we continue, we have another individual with us, and I just want to acknowledge him, Assemblyman Marty. At this time, I would like to give the microphone to our Chief of Staff, Regina Potter, who has a special presentation.
This afternoon, we are blessed with the presence of a great and wonderful politician. He is the last elected Republican assemblyman in Brooklyn, and he's here with us today to see the next Republican assemblyman elected in Brooklyn. Ladies and gentlemen, it is my honor and privilege to introduce you and announce and acknowledge former Assemblyman Dr. Ronaldo Ferraro.
Many times when we are with good people, people that we like, we don't want to end that company that way. You know, when I hear everybody praising me, Alec, the assemblyman now 46th Assembly, I look back and I say, gee, that's my story. You know, Alec and I, we have something in common which everybody else doesn't have. It's a fact. It's a fact. In all of this, we follow the same direction. I used to be a Democrat, and then I changed, and I became a Republican. And he don't think only from the point of view of changing lives. You gotta change philosophy. You gotta change a lot of things. And you have to adjust yourself to that kind of change. And Alec did that. He has spent years, 9 years in the assembly as a Democrat. And I was following his moves, his activities in the area
think in my mind, he's not a Democrat. He's a Republican. And then he is. Republican Assemblyman Alec Buchanan. You know, what's in the name of a party? Not so much, but there is the philosophical meaning of the party. And you want to reflect that when you're sitting in a long days and nights of meetings in the New York State Assembly, discussing things that sometimes they even bother because they have no significance, or at least we believe that they have no significance. But everything that is done for a purpose. And I know that Alex did a lot of things today because he had a purpose. You see, what was among the other things that we want about, we got to speak with an accent. And you know why? Because I wasn't lucky enough to be born in the United States. I was born in Italy, and I speak also Italian. And Alex was not born in the United States. He was born in Russia, and he speaks Russian. And that's very good. And you know, is that a good thing to have? Yes, knowing languages. And by the way, I know several languages. I retired as an educator, teaching 5 different languages. But that is not the point. The point that I want to make is that we all here for one purpose, to honor the assemblyman. And you know, being an assemblyman, and I'm telling you, because I know I was there in 1984, a few years ago, it's really, it gives you the possibility to be very close to the people, and also you be thinking about how could you help people. And in my idea, I have several things to recommend to your attention when the time comes, because we did accomplish many things, several things for senior citizens. I was a member of the elderly committee, the crime committee, the cities committee, the education committee. We did accomplish a lot of things. Things that I have to fight for because, you know, unfortunately, being in the minority in the assembly is not an easy thing. And everything that we do, there is always opposition and a lot of problems. But when you use your brain and you use your resources, well, you overcome these problems.
Dr. Ferrara came to the United States just 16 years prior to being elected to
you so much. As you can see, I really, I could tell you stories and stories, because what I tell you about me, it's also about Alan. It's the same thing. And I appreciate it. And I really congratulate you for bringing this new idea, new energy in the New York City Center that needed a person like you.
Once again, Dr. Hollow, thank you. I'm not sure if he stepped out or if he had to leave, but as you know, we have so much thanks to give to the community that brought us here today. As a member, I'm not sure if he's returning, but I want to mention and thank Robert Morgan from the Republican Assembly Campaign Committee. Thank you, Robert. I would also like to give a special thanks to our friends, indeed our family, from the Yemeni American community. Yasmin Ataf, Adib El-Mansour, and all those in the Yemeni media. Thank you very much for your support. In our life every day, there are individuals who are given the authority to lead by the title of their office. But then you have the other side of the coin. You have people who lead because of their moral authority, because of the conviction of their beliefs, and because in their heart they want to prepare the future generation to be part of our great city, our great state, and our great country. I would like to ask someone who does this every day and provides great leadership from her heart to turn out the next generation of our leaders. Would the principal of Liberation High School, Principal, I take it this is not your first time in school? Thank you.
Wow, I am so nervous. This is definitely not my first time in school, but it is definitely my first time speaking in front of so many distinguished guests. And please take a joke. Definitely in front of so many Republicans. In the words of Marcus Aurelius, waste no more time arguing about what a good man should be one. And I chose that quote today, not really knowing what I was going to speak about for Alan, because he definitely has always been a good man. And I made a joke about first time in front of some of the Republicans because to me, it did not matter when Alan chose to switch parties, because it was always about who he has been as a man, the essence of a human being, and who he has been to us, and Coney Island, to me, to my young people. I'm a principal of an alternative high school. My students are considered to be overage, undercredited, and unlikely to graduate from high school. Many of which never had an opportunity to walk across this stage because they were considered young people who could not make the cut, whether it's at Lincoln or many other high schools. And what that sometimes does is it sends, I guess, certain stereotypes about who my young people are. Most often, they aren't nice. And when with total commitment and love and a passion and a belief that they are worthy of all His grace, I value the essence of their heart. And in this case, it is the heart of Israel. He has always been a committed individual to want to do what is right simply because it is the right thing to do. So although this is my first time, and I'm sure will not be my last, being in a room full of so many Republicans, I just want to say that it is always about who we are as people, who your heart is, who you wake up, and who you go to sleep being, regardless of the political party that you may follow, is what really matters. You know, often I tell my young people who choose or are forced to affiliate with a specific gang, whether you're blood or first, whether you're Republican or Democrat, be true to who you are meant to be. God has ordained you and given you an opportunity to be great. So just continue to be great. And it is my honor and my privilege to be one of the most unlikely people chosen to speak today.
Principal, thank you very much for your words of inspiration.
At this moment, I would like to introduce Daniel Blake, a renowned and worldwide artist who goes under the title of Africa.
Hello everybody, how you doing out there? Most of you know me in the art world. I'm known as Picasso, the GOAT in the art world. I come from the Coney Island community, and it's a pleasure and an honor for me to be up here today on this historic platform at this particular moment. Now, I wrote something very special from my heart, and I would like to share with each and every one of you. And usually when I speak, I usually just speak from the heart anyway, but nonetheless, I wanted to make this very special, this dedication to this great man standing beside me. He came to Coney Island, my point of view, when Coney Island was really going down, and what separates him from a lot of the other political people and things like this is the fact that he also came from the amusement park area. And there's something about Coney Island, and I call Coney Island Great Man in Motion, that very special place that you and I keep in the attic of our minds. I'm sure each and every one of you have a story about Coney Island, whether it's your mother, your grandmother, or whoever. We can agree on one thing. We love Coney Island. And now before I get started on this particular poem, or this speech, or whatever you would like to call it, I would like to take the time out to say that before each and every one of us were Democrats or Republicans, we were all Americans. Thank you very much. I'm also retired from the United States Navy. Don't mind me.
Bear with me. I
I want to get the words right.
Alex Bradley, I dedicate this to you. I am Matthew Costa, the most thought-provoking and profound futuristic artist to come from Coney Island. So on behalf of the community, I say thank you. I wish you a fun Orama and continued success, my friend. Never limit your imagination, challenge your fears, and remember, we must never be afraid to be different or reinvent ourselves. That being said, Assemblyman Alec McCraskey, I give you Sigmund Freud and the Funny Face. The title of this piece is called Who's Reading Who? I am Matthew Costa, relaxing in the act of my mind. I would like to say thank you to each and every one of you on this joyous and historic occasion. Have a wonderful day, and that being said, now let me unveil this monumental, historical masterpiece. I have worked in museums, galleries. They call me Africasso, A-F-R-I-C-A-S-S-O. You have to see this to believe it. I'm sure you get a chance. Alex McCraskey, on behalf of Coney Island, from this piece. And I always made one piece of everything. I've always stuck to that since the very beginning when I created monuments and things like this. So you have an Africana. Thank you. Thank you very much.
We thank him for his art. We thank him for his words. And above all, we thank him for the service to the United States Navy. I would ask at this moment that a Coney Island leader of our business community, an entrepreneur, and a dear friend to our office kindly join us on the stage. Edward Cosme.
I didn't follow that, and came down way back going on. Anyway, I'm reading my notes, and I have a bit of public story to say, to tell, actually. Good afternoon, Bertrand, well, I'd like to congratulate Alex, and welcome all in attendance this afternoon. Alex and I met by chance on an early Sunday morning in December 2012 along West 37th Street in Canal Avenue, Coney Island. It was a critical time period, 6 weeks after Superstorm Sandy had devastated the lives of so many people across our district. It was during that time that I felt compelled on organizing a rally named Broken Mile in My Shoes in the aftermath of Superstorm Sandy. I, along with many other stakeholders, family, friends, neighbors, and local businesses, from Coney Island had jointly gathered together in order to address the dire and catastrophic destruction and crisis that have obliterated so many people's lives in the absence of supervision. It was at that time that the government, aid, and resources were at a standstill, virtually at a standstill. It was the first time I ever met Alex, and it struck a chord that resonated within our group that morning. Alex, I can say that yes, that morning, there was a dark cloud. We all joined hands and marched that day. But there was something more, paramount, and attribution within us all. There was faith, and there was hope. As I paused and looked up into the sky, I would tell myself, for this too shall pass. Just 6 weeks later, after our rally, on January 29, 2013, I was pleased to believe the U.S. Congress was finally passed. The final resolution bill was passed, allowing $51 billion in aid to the tri-state area. After a fierce scandal and battles and lobbying between both House Democrats and Republican members, I am sure that we all felt honored and having played an intricate role in having seen firsthand the passion of this day. As I sat in the gallery in the U.S. Capitol building that day, along with your support and the support of your constituents, representatives such as Peter King, King Jeffrey, House Speaker Nancy Pelosi, Jill Connell, Peter Corliss, Michael Santos, and Vincent Patel, and Dominic Rector, and my late sister, daughter, Sally, and many, many others. Alex, your unconditional leadership skills has enabled many of us and people throughout your district to rebuild the aftermath of Superstorm Sandy. Today, as the tide has changed 12 years later, there are many innumerable challenges that lay before you. For you are at the helm, and I am so confident that you, as our statesmen, will retain and have our unconditional support. Alex, you are more than just a representative. You are a friend, a leader, communicator, but also as passionate and principled for justice and for all. Thank you.
We try never to leave anyone out. We try to let everyone know how much we appreciate what they do in our borough, in our city, for our neighbors, for our community. If we've forgotten anyone, please forgive us. It was not intentional. We deeply appreciate all of you. However, directly in front of me, and I apologize, I failed to mention your name sitting to Assemblyman Weber, is Pat Singer of the Brighton Neighborhood Association. As you already know, I'm Richard Barsanian, and thanks to this wonderful man, I have the honor of being his Director of Community Affairs. But nothing is done alone. Assemblyman Krasny has a second family. Yes, it's true, folks. And that second family are the dedicated, compassionate professionals that make everything happen. At this time, Lucretia, Regina Potter, our Chief of Staff, I would kindly ask that you join me, Lucretia, please. We're already standing, so we have an advantage. But now I inconvenience my friends and my family. And I ask the following people to kindly rise. Nadine Dabney. Kindly remain standing. Richard Purvis Williams, Community Liaison. Catherine Katari. Lena Lanchinskani, Office Director. And of course, Joanne Weiss, our amazing volunteer staffer who keeps These are the people that get things done. It is our responsibility, all of us, to fulfill the vision of Assemblyman Alec Krasny. That vision, means one thing and one thing only. We are here for everyone. We are here to improve your quality of life and to make sure that your needs are met. A big thank you to our amazing staff, and thank you to my dear friend and Chief of Staff, Lucretia Regina Potter. But most of all, thank you to this community for electing our leader, Assemblyman Alec Krasny. As we gather today for the swearing-in of our Assemblyman, Alec Krasny, we must take a moment to consider, what does this really mean? I'll tell you what it means. This, right here, right now, in this school, this is the representation of our democracy. This is the result of your voice being heard and your demand for representation. This room is the perfect symbol of what is great about our beloved New York City and New York State. There are members of every political party in this room and every school of thought. And we are here because at the end of every day, we are all united as New Yorkers because we have the capacity to change what is wrong and build on what is right. We are here to celebrate our democracy and to remember that whether it's Surf Avenue or Shore Road, whether it's Bath Avenue or Stillwell Avenue, whether it's Seagate or Bay Ridge Parkway, we have an assemblyman who understands, has the desire to lead, and the courage to get things done and represent us. And that gentleman is standing to my right, and his name is Alec Krasny. At this time, I will give the microphone to the Chief of Staff, Lucretia Regina Potter, as she will prepare to have a few words and administer the oath.
Thank you. Once again, up running for his own seat as a Republican. Before he could go any further, I had questions. Many questions. And I asked them rapid fire, 1, 2, 3, 4. And I sat back and I watched. And his jaw dropped, he regained his composure, and then I was impressed. I was impressed in how he answered my questions. I was impressed at his knowledge of the political process. I was impressed by his dedication to the community. He was very concerned about the lack of leadership after he had gone. And I was just very impressed that this man takes this district to heart. This man has the fire in his belly, and he's going through it. So I decided that. As we got further into the campaign, more and more, Alec kept on calling me, asking my opinions, what he wanted to do, and we discussed things. Before you knew it, it's a daily conversation, and he's listening to me. I said, great, we're doing well. And then he asked me to become his campaign manager. And I told him, be prepared, because you're going to work. And as many of you know me, I'm a tough cookie. I don't play games when it comes to politics. We go for the win, we're going to win. And that's what we do. We worked hard. We struggled, we fought, we battled, but at the end of the day, all the dreams and hard work came to fruition. And it's because of the great team that we had that Richie just introduced a little while ago. And a lot of other volunteers. We met so many wonderful people in the district. People who believed in our message. People who believed that the district needed major changes. People who finally came together and said, enough is enough. We need to get things done. This is our home. We live here. And I have to say, in my many years in politics, I have only met one man like Alec Presley, and that's the former Senator, Dr. Ronaldo Ferraro, my mentor. They are more than just politicians. They are true statesmen. They really know how to connect the community and get things done. I also had the wonderful opportunity to meet and work with Alec's family, his wife Aviva, his son Jonathan, his daughter Rebecca, all the love and support that they gave their dad and family. And it really inspires people, because when you're with your family and your family supports you, that means more than anything else in the world when you're in school. We achieved what they call, and what the monks call, a political impossibility. We pulled off what they call a political miracle. We helped Alec make a comeback in politics. Unheard of. Very few people can accomplish. And I'm very pleased to say that Alec gave me, and as many of you know as women, a chance. We've overcome a lot of obstacles in the world, in the world of business, but in politics as a woman, it's more difficult than anything else, because it is still a man's world. And I want to thank Senator Alec for the opportunity to work as his campaign manager, for the opportunity to get my ideas and strategies implemented. And I want to thank Alec for opening the door for many other women that want to come into politics. Men like Alex, because after all, this is our home. This is where we live. And if we can't take care of our home, we shouldn't be in politics in the first place. Right now, I'd like to invite Judge Barron and Dr. Ferraro. We go to administering the oath and swearing in. Aviva,
Rabbi, please join us.
Rabbi Britton.
Rabbi, join us, please.
Russian immigrant, assembled in America, and served as a great leader for our community. I was in law school. I became the first native Russian born Sicilian immigrant woman judge in New York State, and to my knowledge, in America in 2017. And today, it is my honor to swear the assembly.
اليمين.
Do solemnly swear or affirm that I will support the Constitution of the United States and the Constitution of the State of New York, and that I will faithfully discharge the duties of the office of New York State Assembly according to the best of my ability, so help me God.
According to my ability, so help me God.
القاضي حلفت انه يحافظ على القانون والدستور الامريكي والقانون لولاية ميريلاند او ولاية نيويورك، وان يعمل مبعوث على الحفاظ على القانون.
I know what you're thinking. We're almost ready for the sandwiches and the drinks. Just a couple more minutes. Actually, the great thing is, we have an assembly. One second. Assemblyman Alan Golde would like to address us. Assembly.
Ladies and gentlemen, do you hear me well?
Yes. Yes.
Thank you so very much for coming. And it's not a long speech. It's about 40 minutes. But I'll try. Usually what other people are doing in 40 minutes, I'm doing in 10 minutes. So let me try.
Okay.
As you know, I was not born in Brooklyn. I was born in Moscow. There are so many interesting and funny stories related to being born in Moscow for the New York State Assemblyman. Now, 2043 people know there is a big Russian-speaking community in New York, in Chicago, everywhere. But I was elected in 2006, so I started in 2007, when Judge Barrett was still in the law school, right? So it was 2007. Judge, deserve a big round of applause here for congratulating the first Russian-speaking judge in America. So now people know there is a Russian community, and a Russian-speaking community, and the time, 2007, it was not so widely known. So as you know, I have in my district, within the borders of my district, I have what we call Fort Hamilton, a military installation, a military base. And it happened to be the only military base in New York City. So in New York City, Fort Hamilton tradition, they have, I think, twice a month, they have what they call cocktail party for some generals coming from Pentagon, DC, etc. So on one of the gatherings, I spoke to 3-star generals from Pentagon, and I'm speaking in the presence of my kids, so I'm going to try to use the best English with all the articles that needs to be in the sentences. You know, I will try. You know, for the Russian-speaking person, sometimes saying a word starting with V or W, it's basically the same thing. Now, Jonathan is sitting here some years ago, just for you to know what it means for the Russian-speaking person with the Russian articulation mechanism. I have been going to the JFK, and I'm calling Jonathan, and I'm saying, Johnny, I'm on the way to JFK. So he's asking me, Dad, when are you going to be coming back? I'm saying, I don't hear you well, I'm on 1 week expressway. So John is asking me, so you're going to be back in 1 week? John, what is it, Van Week Expressway? Or I'll try my best. So, again, getting back to Moscow situation. That 3-star general is asking me, so you're an assemblyman in this area, right? Yes? Yes. And you have the only military base in New York City, you have in your district, right? Yes. And you have some kind of an accent, right? Asked me that 3-star general. Yeah. Were you born here in the United States? I said, no, I was born in Moscow. Was the last hope, he was looking right into my eyes and asking me, Moscow, Pennsylvania? I started in 2007. I came to this country in 1989. I started in the assembly in 2007. And of course, I have a very diverse district. One of the areas is Bay Ridge. So I'm going to Bay Ridge, and I'm on the tour going to Bay Ridge businesses. One of my first jobs in America was a job delivering flowers. In Barashi, there was a store called Barashi Flowers. Another Miss Barashi? Joanne Barashi. God bless the memory. So I'm coming to Miss Barashi, and for her, she was in her 70s, I think, at the time. For her, 16 years is nothing. It's like yesterday, right? So, remember, I've been delivering flowers for her 16 years prior to my coming to the assembly. So I came to Miss Barashi. Miss Barashi, how you doing? How's your store? This, that. So she's asking me, Alan, so what are you doing these days? I said, you know, I'm an assemblyman now. She's looking at me and she's asking me, so what do you assemble? In her mind, the person who was delivering flowers 16 years ago with 20 words of English just can't become an assemblyman, right? Yeah. But can happen only in one city, in the whole world. Only in New York City can happen. Absolutely. So this question of Ms. Barash's question is always in my mind. Because, believe it or not, all my life I'm trying to assemble something. I'm in a business to assemble something. And God bless my wife, she's just an amazing person. Any time of assembling something is right behind me. My family is always supporting, but I'm also blessed with a lot of great friends. Great friends. And wherever I have in my mind to assemble, I always have people standing shoulder to shoulder with me, wherever I'm assembling in my life. When I was assembling Kacheka, and it was right after September 11th, some great people were right next to me. Felix Frankel, Tom Sapir, God bless his memory, Sam Christine. Kacheka was one of the great Jewish organizations in the city, still is. And we have now with us, I don't know if he's still here, the New York City Commissioner on International Affairs, Ed Normanstein. So when I left Kacheka, Ed Normanstein became a president and then the chairman of the board of Kacheka. So it's just an interesting, very interesting situations in my life, and I'm trying to assemble them. When I was trying to assemble Panorama, Kids Entertainment Center, my great friends who are here, my childhood friends, Alex Lubarov, Nigel Stark, they were standing shoulder to shoulder with me in the process of assembling, right? Assembling. We were all assembling at that point. Panorama. And then I decided to assemble the run for New York State Assembly in the year 2000. And some of my friends at that time, not my childhood friends, but some other people were saying, oh, you're absolutely crazy. You're 10 years in the country. How can you win a seat and become an American politician? Absolutely impossible. It's impossible, but I've been trying to assemble it. And the people who were right next to me at that time were, of course, my family, but also people you still remember, I'm sure. Councilman Howard Lasher, God bless his memory. Jules Polonevsky, who was at the time an assemblyman in 46th Assembly District, but also a right hand of Mayor Giuliani. He was a Democrat, Giuliani was a Republican, but those were times, once upon a time in America. Rodney Knight was with me. I don't know if he's here tonight. He was supposed to come. It was the first time when we assembled a ticket consists of white, Russian-speaking former soccer player and a huge black American football player, Rodney Knight. And of course, Nadine Downey was with me already in 2000. And Boris Tadas, and people like Alfie Davis, great people who were with us, trying to assemble the team. And my campaign manager at that time was the person who was sitting right on the back of this room, and his name is Gary Pilzer. He's not an amazing guy. He was supposed to win, but I was removed from the ballot. Your Honor, when Judge called me into his chamber, he told me, look, you know, you got 4,500 signatures. Obviously, you're going to be in politics one day. But now, because of those 14 signatures, I have to remove you from the ballot. So, Judge, come on. I came from the Soviet Union. What is the Soviet Union? So Judge at that time said, well, welcome to Brooklyn politics. It was here 2000. Thank you, Gary. I've been trying to assemble a lot of different things. In 2006, we assembled a good team to run for New York State Assembly with great friends like Dominic Raycare, Dominic and Raycare Jr., And Vito Lopez, God bless his memory. Vito was an incredible leader and great friend. And some other people were with us. So we were trying to assemble that team, and we won. There was a lot of things that we were trying to assemble. And every time, right next to me, shoulder to shoulder, were my good friends. And yes, it was starting with a big challenge. Big challenge. Huge. The biggest in my life. And we won. Because I have great friends right next to me. With my family. My incredible friend. And when I'm mentioning his name, I always have goosebumps. I don't know why. I was about to say attorney, James Montgomery. James, thank you so very much. Not going to be able to do within 2 hours. And some other great friends, and some people who were sitting here, helped me so much in a very difficult situation. And I'm so grateful to all my friends who were very helpful. One of them, by the way, was 74 who was sitting here right in the first row. Many great friends and many great people. It's been a very interesting life. I hope it just happened. What I'm trying to assemble now is something that I think is very important for us and our kids and our grandkids. 46th Assembly District is a real leadership. 46th Assembly District is a lot of things to be done. And first and foremost, I'm going to say that we need in 46th Assembly District something that has been my dream for many years. And some people are saying it's impossible. But as you, my friends, know, I'm just capable of doing some impossible things in my life. So I hope we're going to get that bridge. We're going to get that bridge from West 33rd right to Will Parkway, so people in Western Point Island and CTA will know about the next time they will know that they always can get out of the house easily. Amen. Amen. Nadine, what's happening to $40 million between friends? There are a lot of things that we need to accomplish in our district. Trade school, boardwalk. I don't want to bore you. There's a lot of things that we need to do. But we're ready. We're ready to fight. And we're ready to help the community, which I love very much. The community where I've been an assemblyman already in my first life in the assembly, from 2007 till 2015. And I love this profession. I love this trade. I love politics with small p, but I love politics with a big P. Politics that build on the community needs, on the needs of our children and our grandchildren. Those politics I respect. Those politics I just adore. That's the politics that I want to do, hopefully for quite a few years, so I will be able to achieve what I'm trying to assemble right now. I want to thank you all for coming. I just cannot tell you how happy I am that I'm back to the assembly again. And at this point, if you can ask my voices, Richie Barzani, no appreciation of father, to ask my wife to come to this stage. My wife Habiba is my greatest friend. My wife Habiba has been with me in the great times, in the bad times. She's my love, she's my life, she's my supporter. She's my everything.
We know it's a very bold expression, but I have to tell you, in this case, there is no doubt whatsoever it's true. Behind every great man, is an even greater lady. I have fantastic news. We have the two things that everyone